My name is Ava Monroe. I'm 26. If you had met me just a week ago, you would have seen a woman living what looked like a perfect life. I had a stable job, a cozy suburban home, and most importantly, Ethan, the husband I believed was my forever. For 4 years, I had loved him deeply. He was charming, ambitious, and always said the right things. I believed marriage meant standing together through sickness and health. What Ethan never knew was the truth about my background. I was the only daughter of a powerful real estate tycoon, the sole heir to a massive empire. I hid it because I wanted real love, not a man drawn to money. That decision cost me everything. To broken legs, a shattered spine, and a heart split clean in two. I woke up to the sharp smell of disinfectant and the steady beep of machines. The ICU was cold and white. When I tried to move, my body wouldn't respond. Panic clawed at my chest. Dr. Collins stood beside my bed and gently explained I had been in a terrible car accident. My spinal cord was injured. There was a strong chance I might never walk again. At 26, my future collapsed in seconds. Dreams of travel, children, and freedom faded into darkness. The only thing I clung to was Ethan. When he finally entered the room, he didn't rush to me or hold my hand. He stood at a distance, calm and detached, with a stranger in a suit holding an envelope. The words hit me like another crash. Divorce papers filed that morning. Ethan said he didn't sign up to be a caregiver. He wanted his life, his freedom. His mother's voice echoed through the phone, calling me a burden and urging me to sign. I realized, in that moment, that the man I loved had already left me emotionally long before he walked out of that room. With shaking hands, I signed. Ethan smiled in relief, wished me luck with my legs, and walked away. Hours later, a nurse informed me my cards were declined. Ethan had emptied our joint account. I lay there, broken, abandoned, and penniless, until a familiar voice cut through the silence. My father, Charles Monroe, stood in the doorway. I hadn't seen him in 3 years. Without a word of judgment, he paid every bill and took me home. My father transformed his estate into a private rehabilitation center just for me. The best doctors, the best therapists, no expense spared. But something was wrong. He was weaker, coughing constantly. One night, he told me the truth. He had late-stage lung cancer, 3 months left. Then came the second truth. He had updated his will. Everything would go to me, but only if my divorce finalized before his death. Ethan's impatience had unknowingly saved my future. If I inherited while married, he could have taken half. Now he would get nothing. From that day forward, I fought. Every painful therapy session, every fall, every tear was fueled by betrayal. 6 months later, I stood on my own defeat. My father watched with tears in his eyes. A week later, he passed peacefully, knowing I was strong. The will reading confirmed it. $10 million properties, full control of Monroe Holdings. Ethan had no legal claim. 2 years passed, I became CEO. I rebuilt the company and myself. I walked again, stronger, sharper, transformed. Meanwhile, Ethan burned through the money he stole, luxury trips, a greedy girlfriend, mounting debt. Then Forbes published an article naming me the rising real estate queen with a $20 million empire. Ethan saw it and realized what he had lost. He tried to come back. Apologies, lies, excuses. When that failed, he sued me, claiming promises that never existed. In court, video evidence from the ICU destroyed him. His own words echoed through the room. The judge dismissed the case and ordered him to pay $150,000 in legal fees. Ethan collapsed under the weight of his own choices. Months later, I founded the Monroe Hope Foundation to support patients abandoned in hospitals. One winter night, I went downstairs to pick up a food delivery. The delivery driver looked up. It was Ethan, older, broken. Ashamed, I handed him a tip, not out of pity, but as a final lesson. He disappeared into the snow, carrying the weight of every decision he had made. I returned upstairs, calm and free, gazing at the city lights and the divorce papers my husband shoved at me in the ICU. You weren't my downfall. They were the greatest gift he ever gave me. His cruelty built my strength, his betrayal secured my future, and his absence made me unstoppable. Sometimes trash really does take itself out.